Hope all of you have had a fabulous day. And I'm Richard Daniel. Allow us to introduce ourselves. Firstly, I am Richard Daniel from Colombo.
Hi, Daniel, and I'm Sanjay from all the way from Melbourne.
Hi again. So basically, yeah, I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say a good evening. I believe it's a bit too late of an evening for you, especially Sanjay, right?
Totally all right. I'd love to be part of the Sri Lankan crowd, but yeah, slightly good morning right now. But yeah, let's start off.
Before we get started, some of the housekeeping rules, or should I say a few housekeeping rules. Now, all of you guys most probably by now would have realized that all of you are muted. Since this is a webinar, it is the case by default. So, however, there is always a Q&A section of it. So in case you do need to voice out any concerns or any correspondence that you'd like, you could always do so by using that icon. And also, there would be some sweet treats for you guys, some surprises along the way, including a mini quiz. I believe Sanjay would be telling a bit more on that, as well as a demo, a mini course just for you guys, which would be very helpful. And you would, at the end of this session, I'm sure you guys would be, I should say that you guys are really lucky in terms of the knowledge that's about to be imparted to you.
Rightfully said, Daniel. And we request all participants. Right now, we have a number of 88 people joining us, and I'm hoping that is going to increase. So all those 88 plus participants, we ask all of them to keenly follow the workshop, because at any moment of time, we would be having something called a pop-up quiz. Bit of a surprise quiz based on what we learned today. And what's more is that when you achieve 80% or more, you will be enabled to getting a certificate of attendance that's going to be mightily valuable in the future.
A warm welcome to all of our participants to a session where I would call an unforgettable day, because it is indeed going to be an enlightening session for all you guys, trust me, because at the end of this session, you will be getting a lot of insights on accounting and its softwares in terms of best preparing you to face the complex challenges, the evolving combination of accounting technology has to offer.
And yes, so to kick off the session, let me ask a question from all of you. On a Saturday night at 7:30, when you should be ideally spending with our different agendas, why are we gathered here today? Any guesses? Daniel?
I would first, just throw the platform to the audience. Any guesses? You can always write it down. Okay, since we don't have any replies so far. So basically, it is to gain an understanding of why being skilled in a global context of accounting alongside technologies help you obtain prominences in the workplace, including career developments and opportunities in so many things, including migration plans and involvement in the context of Australia.
Totally agree with you, Daniel. So we are in a growth phase. And during this growth phase, we need accountants, both in private and public sectors. Right now, we are just hitting the number of 100 participants, and I'm pretty sure all these 100 participants are going to be 100 future solid accountants. In Sri Lanka,
I agree with you.
beyond Sri Lanka as well. And pretty sure that all of you are here have plans of migrating to Australia and seeking employment. So we are here to tell you what those employers are looking for and the ability that we can provide for you today.
Yes, totally agree with you, Sanjay. Now, I have to tell basically, since you actually opened the curtain for me. So when it comes to just reiterate on what you said, before we proceed further, just to give, I think it's really important for us to give a background of who we are. So basically, we have been in the industry for the past 7 years, and we have been specializing in management consultancy. And this is the reason we realized the need, of the importance, evolving technologies and accountancy plays in obtaining career prospects, and especially the overall employment context in Australia, Sanjay.
Totally agree with you, Daniel. I mean, I couldn't agree more because I did some background right before the workshop, and it found out that accounting, we say that we're accountants, it actually started 700 years ago, even more than that, back in the 13th century. So ever since that point of time, it has been developing and evolving. And right now we are in an era or in a phase that technology has given a huge boost. And each and every one of us, including everyone around the world, need accountants.
Totally agree with you, Sanjay. And also, Sanjay, the best part is, traditional accounting, or should I say old school accounting, has been eliminated, and it has been replaced by exciting modernized accounting, thanks to the evolving technology, Sanjay. So I feel that, it is more, it puts the stage on for companies to better manage the operations globally.
Ideally, yes. And yeah, in a global era. And right now, we are kind of entering a phase in Sri Lanka where it's the migration phase, isn't it, Daniel?
True. When it comes to the migration phase, Sanjay, now, I mean, in the context of Sri Lanka, most of the Sri Lankan students, when they always have these, mindset, of migrating. And when it comes to choosing between a whole plethora of countries, right, Sanjay, they always choose Australia as the main destination. So when it comes to choosing such a choice, Sanjay, what do you think is the main reason behind it? I mean, for me, like, money could be, career prospects, maybe opportunities. What do you think, Sanjay?
Frankly speaking, Daniel, as a person who kind of jumped on the ship and came to Australia, ironically, but the quality of life, so what you're saying, quality of life, money, career. So it's a mix and match of all this, all right? Career prospects, good pay, and what more? Work-life balance. There is no better country than work-life balance like in Australia, all right?
And here's the best
seems like a
part.
fairy tale. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the best part, Sanjay. You don't have to necessarily be in Australia, right? I mean, you can do the same thing even in Sri Lanka. I mean, you could always work from the comfort of your own home, and you could always earn in the Australian dollar, work according to the Australian time zone. So basically, you're living in it's like you're living in Australia already, Sanjay. Don't you think?
Rightfully, yes. Rightfully, yes. You ideally don't have to get situated in Australia to work for an Australian firm and earn the AUD, as you said. And at the same time, for accountants, the need for accountants is twice as high just before the pandemic. So you take 4 years back, it's twice as high right now. So which means that there's a huge demand and a huge need for accountants in the country.
So, Sanjay, now that you raised that up, I'm just interested to know, what are the critical skills, that you need, or it's an essence to have, when it comes to migrating to Australia, or when it comes to landing in Australia? What are the skills?
Well, as an accountant, it's a mix and match, I told you, of technical and soft skills. So let me speak in terms of technical skills. Preferably, they need to have experience, a lot of experience in accounts payable management, accounts receivable management, knowledge in GST, BAS, superannuation, and the list would go on and on. But yeah, to sum it up.
I totally agree with you, Sanjay. Now, when it comes to Sri Lanka, Sanjay, I'm sure you know how it works, because most of the Sri Lankan, I would say over 70% of the Sri Lankan, companies, they haven't evolved in technology that much, Sanjay. So I would say, or maybe they haven't incorporated technology at all in their accounting platform, Sanjay. So there is this knowledge gap. Our, most of the, the youngsters, or should I say, the alpha era, so the generation, they experience this particular void where they do not have the knowledge in the accounting softwares. So, Sanjay, I just wanted to know, is that mandatory, when it comes to securing employment in Australia, especially in the accounting field? Because, since they do go to Australia, most of them do not have that with them.
Of course, yes. Let me ask you another question. Can you come to Australia without a valid visa?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
It's
not.
just like that. You need to know your accounting software. If you do not, you cannot survive in the country without the knowledge of that. So because what I'm saying is that almost all the SMEs, all right, pretty much 99 point over that, all right, use any accounting software and ERP systems to best manage businesses in Australia. So this is very different to that in Sri Lanka. And just because you're an accountant, it doesn't mean that you can land a job if you don't have experience in the accounting software. All right, I really highlight that a lot.
Yeah. Of course, you're the one in Australia. So in that case, Sanjay, I do understand, because you, as I said, you are not just in Australia, you are a chartered accountant yourself, Sanjay. And being a professional with your experience, Sanjay, I would say you're the best person to ask. What do you think? Can you suggest me some of the most prominent softwares that are there when it comes to accounting?
Yeah, so there are several software, Xero, MYOB, QuickBooks, and the list goes on. But let me also bring a few statistics as well. All right. So the accounting services industry in Australia is 11.8 billion. Let's say it's 12 billion. To put that into perspective, that's even more than the entire capital reserves in Sri Lanka. All right. So that's how big the accounting industry in Australia is. And another number, Australia has a total number of businesses as 2.5 million businesses in the country. 2.5 million. Australia has a population of 25 million. So if you do the numbers, it's just like 1 out of 10 Australians have their own business. And when 1 out of 10 Australians have their own business, they need their own accountant. So we have 107 participants. Guys are accountants. Do the math. And it will tell you the demand in the country.
I didn't know. I'm amazed by the numbers, Sanjay. It's quite a lot. So yeah, I hope all you guys have already gotten, somewhat of an insight on, what we're trying to do here in this particular session. So I would say that you are about to get experience of, I would say three, right? Yeah, three of the most important softwares, or should I say the most prominent softwares used by most of the small and medium scale entrepreneurs in the world. And, you also would be getting the basic functions. So again, as I said, as I reiterated in my previous introduction, count yourself lucky, because it isn't typically done. So you'll be getting to see some basic, or should I say most important functions that are being performed by 3 of the most prominent softwares.
Ideally, and we just got some, I would say, breaking news. Just because we crashed the number 100 of participants, but the organizing team has decided to come up with a bit of a surprise. Remember that we mentioned that there's a pop-up quiz, which will allow you to go for a certificate of attendance if you get 80%, all right? And if you get 80% or more, and if you are willing to be part of the incoming August intake, Brisca Education is ready to waive off the registration fee. So this is an exclusive offer that we would be having for our participants today. Just a heads up on that.
Just wow. This is something great. You got the message just now, is it?
Yes, it is. So this is something that we should be quite interesting. And yes.
Okay. So Sanjay, when it comes, I do understand you did share a lot of insights, on the statistics. You just, open my mind to a whole new level. So in that case, Sanjay, you definitely know, as I said, the most prominent software, Sanjay. So can you just, I'm not asking you to like all the softwares, but the most, or should I say, the softwares in the top 10, perhaps? The top 10 in the world, Sanjay. So what are the softwares that it's a must-have, which which gives them a higher chance of getting employed in Australia, at least to a certain percentage?
Yeah, list එකක් නම් තියෙනවා. ඒ list එක ගොඩක් දිගයි, but there will be top 3 softwares. I would say it's Xero, QuickBooks, and MYOB. Those are the top 3 softwares. If anyone was to ask me that they should get equipped before coming to the country.
Okay. That's interesting, Sanjay. What are they, if I may ask?
So yeah, as I mentioned, it's Xero, QuickBooks.
Okay.
And yes, I guess we have a few experts up there who would be taking over the demo. So can we invite Amna to go ahead with the Xero demonstration for accounts payable management? Amna, all of us at Brisca, we know that you're an expert at it, and we'll be happy to.
I do understand, because when we are speaking of reliable software, we need reliable people to teach them, right? And that is why, we have lined up, the best panel of experts in, different specializations for that. So yeah, starting with Amna, yeah, of course.
All right, Amna, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Daniel and Sanjay. So before we start, just a small heads up. I will be assuming that all of you are coming from an accounts background. And with that in mind, I'm going to be using some accounts terminology and so on, which will accounts terminology and so on, which I think you all might be familiar with. And then let me land on to the Xero page. So here we come to the Xero page, right? So here's the Xero dashboard, and I hope everyone can see the screen. All right. So as it first land on Xero, the first page that we see is the dashboard, and this is a snapshot of the business. And this is going to give the bank transactions, which is pulled from the bank, right? All of the transactions and the income, the invoices, the bills, and also some more details about accounts and ledgers. And the best part is you can customize this. The page that you want to land on, you can customize this as per your wish. And then let me quickly run you through some tools in Xero before we look at accounts payable. So we have the business tab, which is the invoices, billing, which if you are an accountant, which you'll be using prominently. And then we have the accounting tab. Interestingly, this is where you will do all your analysis. And this is a page I myself keep discovering so much. There's so much to learn. And we have the payroll and the contacts tab. But I'm going to restrict this area to just accounts payable. I won't have the time to finish this up. There's so much to learn. So let me share the bill that I'm going to work through. Yes. So I have a bill for you. And let me run you through what a bill and invoice could be. So in the context of accounting, when we say bill, it's something that we have received from a supplier. We might have to make payments to a supplier for this bill. So this is from Quick Commercial Cleaning. We have the address, and this is billed to Demo Private Limited, which is us in this scenario. And we have the invoice number, the date, the description, and we also have the balance. So let me jump into Xero and start creating the contact for this. We need to move to contacts. Right. And then this green button that says new contact. And I'm going to copy the details from the bill. So I'm going to copy the name. And also copy the address. So to enter the address, there is a special tab for that. Let me enter the address. The beauty of this is if I just enter this, it prompts the address in Australia. So then once that is selected, I will that is done. And let me also go back to the contacts. I can add the primary contact person, the last name, and also the email. So I'm going to skip the email because I don't have that detail. But the best part is if you could add an email address, I could directly send the remittance to supplier. There's so much to play around. If I can add the email address, I could directly send emails from Xero about remittances, bills, and so on. But I'll skip that for now, and we can enter the ABN and a lot more detail. So since it's a bill, I'm going to jump on to purchases. And if I have a special account, which I'll record this bill every time I get to add, I'm going to put an account. So since I think most of the time this will be a cleaning service, I'm going to add that. If I don't have an account, I can leave it as a blank. And if I have a standard credit term, I could add that as well. In case I don't have a standard credit term, I could leave as a blank. I'll show you the advantage of adding one. Now that's done. Let me save the contact. Right. So here we have the contact saved. Let me jump on to business and bills to pay. Right. So this is the billing interface where you can see your bills. And if I ask, if I am asked, how do I know the bills that are yet to pay? I'll jump on to awaiting payments. So there's some more tabs I could play around, but yes, we will go back to creating the bill that we add, new bill. You see this interface, and just for our ease, what I'll do is I will push this bill that I have that's downloaded into Xero. Simple as that. Just drag it and drop it. And now I have the bill uploaded into Xero. Makes my task so much easier. Oh God, I uploaded the wrong bill. Let me. Right. Here I have it, dragged and dropped. Going to look for the customer. Starting the supplier. And let me show you the advantage of having it entered the credit terms. So since this is the date is 9th of Jan, all I have to do is enter the date as 9th of Jan. And there you go. The due date gets automatically prompted to the credit term that I have applied. So I can add the bill number. That is done. I'll copy in the description. That is done. The quantity and also the amount, which is 425. That is done. And there you see the account is prompted. I don't have anything to do there. And then, yeah. And I'll also cross-check with the bill, are the amounts correct? Okay, the amount is wrong because it should go as tax exclusive. There's a bit of things to learn there, but really easy. You can capture that. So once I say tax exclusive, the best part is Xero will capture the GST on its own. And all I have to do is check if it's correct, approve. There you go, bill is entered. That's the beauty of this system. It is so user-friendly. Ultimately, you'll be able to save so much time. Once you learn this, it's going to give you such an edge. Yeah, so that's about billing. And let me quickly run you through how this will appear in an age payable report. So let me enter the date. I bill this per Jan, or I can select end of last financial year. Update. And I'll see all of the bills entered within this period. So I have all my information just in one place, all by just one click. So knowing this is going to help you derive and extract information so much easily. I'm going to find my bill. And if I want, I could click on it and get back to the bill. Work on it again. Right? And I have the bill here. That's the beauty of the system. Such an easy system to work with. And yeah, that's about billing, Daniel.
All right, Jamna, that was a very, I should say that was a very insightful, session, Amna. And also, I'm sure you gave everyone, first-hand glance, at how Xero and its overall functionalities work. So coming to the, there's a terminology, as you said, called the APA, and I'm sure that we haven't heard it in the, since we're in Sri Lanka, most of all doesn't know what that terminology is. So if you could just shed some light on that, do you think?
Right, Daniel. Yes, I could do that. So ABA technically stands for Australian Banking Association. What it does is, although it's not common here, it's a widely used term in Australian context. So what it means is, it's the standard of files that are used in Australia by the Australian banks. And this lets you make multiple payments at one go, maybe 100, 500 payments just at a go. Yes, that's ABA.
Wow, it's amazing that we can even, attach bills to Xero. But what about the physical bills, Sanjay? What do you do with them?
Well, Daniel, to a great extent, Australians rarely use physical bills, unless, of course, when the accounts division have to maintain a physical file. And are you aware as to how these businesses gather the bills and send them directly, like a click and prompt, to the accounts division to process for payments? Are you aware of how it happens?
Well, I've heard of optical character recognition. Optical character readers, should I say? So they basically take it from HubDoc, text, and they are integrated with the accounting software, Sanjay.
Oh, you really seem to be an expert in this. Well, far better than me, I should say. But what these applications does is HubDoc, Text, what you mentioned, what they do is they give the business owners themselves just to scan the bills from their mobile phones, and they're integrated, and the accountants will whoosh, will get it just like that.
Yes. Thanks once again, Amna. I'm sure, I mean, we got a really, really valuable insight on, how the suppliers, manage how the payments are managed by the supplier, should I say, and in an effective and efficient manner.
And I guess Amna has something to show us as well, yeah, in terms of
Right. Right. So yeah, just like Sanjay told, with billing, we have something called the hub doc, which is integrated to Xero. So I can believe you can see my screen sharing the Xero interface. And right here, we have hub doc, which is integrated to Xero. And such a simple and easy software to use. All you need to do is sign in. And once you have signed in, you could simply enter your bill, and there it goes to Xero within just a few clicks. Right.
That's a very, I would say that's a very enlightening part. Okay, so basically it gets moved to HubDoc from there. All right, so now speaking, of the software, as it's all about software as we see. So it's time, to how do I say it? It's time to get start getting experience on the softwares, Sanjay. So basically, let's do something practical right now without further ado. So let me check. You guys might have received a link by now. So if you could just check if you have received the link.
Yeah, so what Daniel is trying for us to kind of go ahead is actually we can show it, but it's easy if you guys get the tools for yourself as well. So right now, yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
Wondering this, most of these guys must be wondering what this particular link is. So it's just a bit of a see yourself kind of a thing. So basically, it's a mini course. It's the mini course, and I will show you guys how to do it as well. So basically, you go on to our website. All right, so let me just type in the website. So basically, the website is brisca.edu.com. Let me reiterate that for you. It is BRISCA edu.com. And there you get an interface like this. So you get several options to choose from. And we'll be specifically looking at the LMS, which is the Learning Management System. So you just go over here, and thereafter you can directly, you just close this, and you could directly sign up using this sign up icon here. So this is where you need to go, all of you guys. It is the free mini edition, and you'll be getting a lot of information in this particular course, but you cannot enroll. I mean, the access has actually been blocked unless you register. So once you sign up, then the access will be granted to all of you. And yeah, and also I would, just as a proactive approach, I would appreciate if you guys could keep the page as it is, because later on we will be having the mini quiz as well. And at that time, you would, and here's the best part, as Sanjay perfectly said it, the mini quiz is going to be anytime, right? And once you sign up, you can use the same login, so you could keep it as it is. And anytime the mini quiz would pop up just below. It would pop up just below, it's anytime. So I would say, and the best part is you're just given around 4 minutes, right, Sanjay? 4 to 5 minutes. to do it, and only the most attentive, and I would say this is just a test to see how attentive you are. And once you do it, if you happen to get above 80, then you will be getting certificate.
Yeah, and Daniel, there are a couple of questions asking for the link, and then it's kind of shared as well. If you can kind of go back, Daniel, and share as to how exactly they can get on their browser and go to this particular platform. If you can do it in like 1 to 2 minutes again, that would be lovely.
Right. I think I'm going to just show an easier way of doing it. So I will be typing this. You just type Brisca education. When you search it, you'll be getting the link, the first link. You click on it. Thereafter, it will direct you to this particular interface. I know there are a lot of options over here, but you don't go to any of them. You just go to the LMS, the Learning Management System. And thereafter, these are the 3 courses. And this is the free Medi course, which I'm talking about. But if you try and enroll to the course, you cannot do it because you are not registered. So you have to sign up with this particular option. Once you have signed up, then you could watch all of these freely. And the best part is it's only for a limited time. So the sooner you do it, the better, because at the end, the advantage is all to you guys.
There you go, guys. Learn at briscaedu.com. Just go there, click on LMS, and then right on the left-hand corner, you will see something called mini course. Go there, and the rest of the magic, you just have it.
So I'll just show you guys how it's done. I'm just going to sign up, with our particular logins. So I'm going to put my name. Okay, I'll just put it guys. I'll just use it with my personal one. So this is basically a new name which I'm just doing for you. In that case, I think that's better. So then you will get the best. Voila. So it directs you to the.
Hey guys, so today we'll be taking.
And you could watch the entire videos, the entire content that is there.
A look at the introduction to accounting in Australia. Let's start your Australian accounting journey by getting some insights about Australia. We know all of us have heard about Australia. However, we believe it is beneficial for you to have a deeper understanding of the particular aspect of Australia to relate your knowledge of Australian accounting with the business environment in Australia.
So you could view it and
Australia. It is the largest country in Oceania and the 6th largest globally. The population is nearly 26 million as of 31st March 2022. The capital city is Canberra and Sydney's most significant commercial city. Sydney is one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world and the most popular city in Australia. It is a strategic center for banks, financial institutes, large insurance companies, IT and telecom companies, and large accounting and law firms. Australia's other major capital cities are Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, Darwin, and Hobart. Melbourne is the nation's capital of wine, food, and culture. Melbourne is currently known as one of the best cities in the world to live in. According to a survey conducted by the Economic Intelligence Unit, considering 140 cities, Melbourne is reliable, peaceful, and prosperous, with high-quality schools and hospitals. Queensland is known as Bris Vegas. This is mainly due to its vast mineral wealth, making it a famous metropolis. Suncorp, Metway, Virgin Australia, bank and insurer, such as UI, have their headquarters in Brisbane with around 180 other resource companies. The city of Perth is one of the most isolated cities in the world, but it is well established as the nation's energy and mining capital of Australia. Coming to the states and the cities, Australia has 6 states and 2 territories. The states are Queensland, Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales, South Australia, and Western Australia. And the territories are the Capital and Northern Territories. Coming to the financial year, so basically a financial year is 12 months. This is the fiscal year a government utilizes, especially for tax purposes. The Australian financial year starts on the 1st of July and ends on the 30th of June the following year. In the Australian context, we have to be very careful about the quarters of the financial year. First quarter is from 1st of July to 30th of September. Second quarter is from the 1st of October to the 31st of December. Third quarter is from the 1st of Jan to the 31st of March. And the final quarter is from the 1st of April to the 30th of June. Small business owners start closing their books and tax paperwork at the end of the fiscal year. The last quarter of the financial year is crucial for accountants because some year-end preparations must be made.
Daniel, a couple of things.
Individuals submit their tax returns to the Australian Taxation Office, also known.
Yeah, I guess our participants are having slight troubles in still registering for the mini course. So can we take the path from scratch a bit slowly so that I would say 3 to 4 questions that are getting popped up. So let's take it from the start very slowly as to where they can go ahead and get themselves registered, because this is, as you told.
Okay, so I think just for the benefit of participants, I will.
Yeah, so let's just go to Brisca Education on Google, and then let's take it very gradually so that sometimes you cannot ever trust technology. Just let me the things fall by.
First of all, just reiterate the website.
Daniel, would you be sharing the screen?
Yeah, of course. Wait, give me a moment. Oh, of course. Yeah, see that. I hope it is clear to all our participants. So this is our website, briscaedu.com. All you have to do, guys, is just go on to this particular website. Once you have done it, thereafter, you will be getting an interface like this. So then you'll be getting the LMS. I hope that you guys can.
Daniel, you need to share the
Yeah.
browser. You've got the word on.
Okay. I hope in the meantime that all the participants have made a note of it. So this is what you get when you type in briscaedu.com, and thereafter you go to the LMS. It is just the option in the middle. You click on that, and thereafter you can see the 3 courses. So this is the course that you are looking at, the free mini edition. And so you can see now, since I've already logged in, you can see that the me icon. So basically I will sign out. So then you have to sign up once again. You just click the sign up, and then let me use my other login. I will use Harold's one. Yeah? You sign in, and there you go. You are signed in now, and thereafter you just have to click on the video, and you just have to play it. Simple as that.
Known as the ATO from the 1st of July to
Basically continuing from where we stopped. That's fine.
1st of October. In contrast, businesses usually have time until May next year to lodge their tax returns. When it comes to banks in Australia, there are 4 major banks in Australia. They are the Commonwealth Bank, also known as CommBank, Australia New Zealand Banking Group, also known as the ANZ, the National Australian Bank, NAB Bank, and the Westpac Bank. So guys, here you would tend to find the respective logos of these prominent banks, including 2 other banks such as BOQ and Macquarie Bank. Coming to the currency, the Australian dollar is the most common currency Australian companies use for their transactions. However, there might be purchases in foreign currency like the US dollar and many other currencies in certain circumstances. This is quite common in online purchases. Special attention is needed when working with multi-currency when completing bookkeeping tasks, primarily if the client deals with foreign customers and suppliers. Coming to the leading industries, let's see the leading industries in Australia. The highest contributor to the Australian GDP is services, which constitutes more than half of the gross domestic product. Services include finance, professional, health, education, tourism, etc. The next highest contributor is the industrial sector, which is 1/4 of the GDP. Examples are manufacturing, construction, energy, mining, etc. Different types of enterprises are in these industries. Generally, we can identify public companies, large-scale enterprises, and small and medium enterprises.
All right, I guess we can move on.
Finally, the Australian
next phase.
Taxation Office, also known as the ATO. The Australian Taxation Office is the principal revenue collecting body and a statutory agency of the Australian government. The ATO administers the superannuation legislation, the federal taxation system, handling the accounting task.
Yes, Sanjay, you're saying something? Yeah.
Yes. So what I wanted to say was, Daniel, before I actually reached to the country, this is something that I should have ideally tried out when I was in Sri Lanka. Get myself accustomed, train so that I can be job ready when I kind of entered to Australia. So this is something that I should have done, but it was not there. And this is something that I would welcome and kind of encourage all our participants to try, because this, what we are seeing here, is actually the knowledge that you would never be able to gain from anywhere else. And as we told you right now, go to the link because this is available for a limited time. You can get the hands on, you can see what it is, can get a feel of it. Definitely ensure that you get registered and the rest will just fall in place. Trust me, this is just pure gold. That's what I can say.
So this is the link, guys. It's brisca.edu.com. Sanjay, so I believe you did say that statement with taking some personal experience of yours as well. So you might have been facing different challenges when you went to Australia. So I believe it just multiplies it 10 times more, right? When it comes to the efficiency and the probability of getting a job, a good job, I would say, in the field of accounting.
It is rightfully, yes, Daniel, because it is just like how, to put it into perspective, මෙහෙම ගන්නකො මොකක් හරි අතේ තියාගෙන ගෙදරට යන එකයි මුකුත් නැතුව ගෙදරට යන එකයි අතර දෙක ලොකු වෙනසක් තියෙනවා.
Yeah.
Okay. So එතකොට අතට එන දේ මේක කියලා හිතන්නකො. That's the best way that I can put this. All right. If you have this, it's like the cherry on the top. නිකන් කේක් ගෙඩිය තිබ්බට දැන්න, there has to be the cherry. Okay, that's when the entire beauty and the elegance of it is there. All right. So you guys are competent. We are gathered here on a Saturday night. Okay, and you should be spending it out day or whatever with the family. So have this cherry, and this cherry is limited. All right. If you don't try it, it's on you. If you try it, it's again on you. So be wise. That's all that I can say.
And as I said, as Sanjay perfectly said it, I would say this is just a sample of just a sample out from the treasure chest, Sanjay. So basically, if you are looking, to work for an Australian company, if you want to earn a good salary, and most importantly as well, if you're having any migration plans to Australia, then this is definitely a course you do not want to miss out and you have to take on.
Oh yeah, all the 83 people who we see here, they have migration plans. If they don't have the migration plan, they will be joining us. So guys, ensure that you be part of this.
Yes, of course. And coming to the second demonstration now, it would be done. I warmly invite our second expert, Tilina, who would be giving a walkthrough of the accounts receivable in QuickBooks.
Yeah, Daniel. Good evening to every one of you. So thank you for the introduction, Daniel. Anyway, so I'm Tilina. So I'm here to demonstrate and to illustrate about accounts receivable. As Amna explained, the accounts payable, the other part of the accounts payable is that accounts receivable. So I'm going to start, right? So I'm going to share the screen. So here I am. So this is QuickBooks. So I'm going to explain about what is like how it's recorded in accounts payable in Xero. So I'm going to just illustrate accounts receivable and custom invoicing. Some would say it's sales invoicing. So in different terms. So I'm going to just to show you how accounts receivable is done. Before that, so I'm going to tell you the company snapshot, rather, I would say the financial status of a company, how it's seen. So it's seen in dashboard. So there's a place called dashboard where you can see, the management can see the status of the companies today. So there are two tabs called get to get the things done, and also the business overview. So if you could just like move glance through, it's just to say that the tasks or the activities that you need to prioritize in your business day-to-day. So the management has to give more attention to it. So like, for example, let's say there are bills which have overdue, so that's where you have to put your attention. And also there are customers where you have to chase after. So, and also you need to send the reminders. So those are the most the prioritized activities that you have to just put an effort on. So other than that, if you could see this business overview is just basically showing you the status of your company in the financial position or the company's comprehensive income statements. So like number of invoices that we have done and how much you have earned and the expenses that we have incurred and the status of your company, like the profit or loss, where you stand today. So it's just a snapshot. So this is very much important. If you could, if you want to see, because most of the time management wants to see the snapshots, not the holistic picture, the details. So, and also the other part is that the bank accounts in Xero as well QB, the bank accounts are interlinked to the bank, so that banks are integrated to these integrated softwares, which is not seen in companies in Sri Lanka still. So this is a very most important part. So I'm going to start customers and leads where you're going to start doing accounts receivable and invoicing. And here it is. The QuickBooks have a most prominent and an eminent feature which is unique in QB. You did notice this in Xero. This is customers and leads. Customers and leads in the sense there are leads where email and other marketing platforms are integrated, and that integration happens there. So then here, and also through that, it's linked to customers. The customers are created. Then there you go. You're about to create an invoice. So it's a unique feature where you can see only in QuickBooks. So here, if you could see this tab, this is new customer. You're creating a new customer. So here, as you could see here, there are places where you have to enter the title, first name. This is where you have to just like put some primary contact, the responsible person's contact details. You just have to put it there. So I'm going to just like create a customer. So I would say it's ABR Limited. So I'm just like thinking I've got a purchase order or a quotation or a contact service agreement for someone else. So I'm just based on that, I'm just going to raise an invoice. So this is basically the company display name. I assume that this is the company name as well. So I'm just going to copy and paste here. And you can just put email addresses and the contact numbers. And also you can just like fill it out. And also just to fill these billing addresses as well. And if you want to just after you fill out, you can, if you want, you can just click it and you can just a verification through Google Maps as well. So there's another feature here. So, and also, other than that, if the billing address is different to your corresponding address, you can just like click it here and also fill it out. And the payment terms, as I'm going to explain about the payment terms, here also you have to just select whether it's 14 days or the on receipt. So I would select due 14 days. And this is the most important part, as I explained, the Australian business number, where your Australian tax registration number is linked. So you'll have to just like type the number there. So if you want to verify, get a verification, because like through the document that you received, you should have a cross verification, right? So if you want to do a cross verification, just click it here, look up ABN. So once you click it there, you can search the number that you're given is correct or not. So it's just like a matter of just doing a verification. Then I'm going to save it. So this is the customer that I've created. So every detail is listed down here because this is the new customer. So there are no details available as of now. So I've just created the customer. So what is next? We are about to create an invoice. So just go to this tab, sales. And here, just create an invoice. So as you all know that we are providing education to the most like to the accounting students. So basically, we are an education provider. So one of the let's assume that like one of our customers is AMP Limited. Like they are also receiving our services for their accounting service that we are entering to them. So once we enter this customer name, as you could see that all the details that we fed in the system before are retrieved here. So like this is not the customer that I created. This is one of the customers that we already created, because like the customer we created, we didn't put these details there in, but this is a different customer, right? So once you created the customer, every set of details that they've fed up already available. And here, there's another more important task. I think it was not available in Xero, right? Yeah, these product and services. We don't have any place to select the account name, right? So we have only a product or the service, the category, basically a code is there to select, because if you want to, I'll let you know later. So I'm going to select, this is, since we are providing accounting service, so I'm going to select accounting fee is our product service code. Okay, so this is actually, if you select this thing, this product code is linked to one of the chart of accounts, right? So that account code is linked to chart of accounts. So if you want to generate the income derived from this accounting fee segment, you can run the report and you can get the picture of the revenue that we generated from accounting fee segment. That is what the reason this is created. So this is also a unique feature. So this is, I assume that this is for the August month. So I'm going to just like put the description here. August 2023. And assume that the service fee is $1,000. So it's there. And here you're about to select whether it's a GST free item or GST 10%. So since we are providing a education service, we are liable for taxes. So I'm not going to illustrate about the GST verifications, variations and all. So I'm just going to select GST 10% here. So as Amla explained, there are two templates as it available in accounts payable, exclusive or inclusive of tax. So I'm going to select exclusive. So where you can see the tax as a separate component in an invoice. Then, and here there's another more important thing. Rather, you can save it now, or you can save and send it to the parties, like to the intended recipient. Because you can send it now. Because if you have, since you have already filled the details with the email addresses, you can send it as well. So there's an option called that. So I'm going to save it. So it's saved. The automatic generated invoices appear here. So it's 1000025. So we just created any customer. So we created an invoice. So we want to know whether it's paid or not. So it should be appear in our accounts receivable report, right? So just go to reports. And here you've got number of reports. So I'm going to select each receivable detail. So here, this is the invoice that we created just a while ago. So it's appearing here. So other than that, there are a number of invoices which I had to receive. So this is the invoice that we created. So I hope that everyone got the idea about accounts receivable, how it started and how it's going to be appear in the systems and the reports. So I hope it's clear, right?
Yeah, Tilina, it is very interesting. I would say I was just listening to everything you said. But can we do the same in, you did say that, I mean, there were certain attributes you said it's not possible, but still can we do the same in Xero?
Yeah, we can, it's possible because like most of the features are appearing in Xero as well. So other than that, like there are automations where you can send the reminders and everything is automated. So that every setup.
Okay, so that's the difference. There.
Yeah, that's there. So automatic reminders and every setup is there. So the Xero is also compatible with Cubic. Other than the unique features that are mentioned separately.
Right. Yeah, it's a very, I would say it's a very interesting, I mean, thanks a lot, Tilina, for shedding the light on that subject. So now I would say we had a very interesting walkthrough in terms of, the suppliers and how we invoice our customers. So when it comes to the rest of it, so Pumi, when we are making, how do we when we are making the payments and we are issuing the receipts, so how are those recorded in the bank statements, Pumi? How are we going to record those in our ledgers? How can we see it in the bank statements?
Yes. Thank you, Daniel, for inviting me for this workshop. So can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
So do you know what you think in Australia? We can we
You're asking me a question, huh?
yeah
Okay.
yeah can we allocate
That's
bank
nice.
transactions manually?
It's a good one. I think there should be a different way of doing it directly to the system, right?
Yeah. So I don't think in Sri Lanka we heard that word bank feeds, right? So in Australia, like Tirina said, bank statement and I mean the bank accounts linked to the accounting software. So we need to do is go to the bank feeds and we can allocate that transaction to the particular account. So I will, yeah.
Sure. So Pumi, yes, you did. I mean, it's very interesting, but I'm sorry if I'm troubling you. But can you just for my knowledge as well, could you just demonstrate if you could show
Yeah,
how
just
it's
a
done?
moment, Daniel. Sorry that I'm intervening, but I just want to remind our participants that the surprise that we mentioned earlier at the beginning will be on you any moment now. So have your eyes and ears fully up. And for those who haven't got registered, I'm inviting all of you. This is a humble encouragement for all of you to go ahead and get a feel of the course. And at the same time, the surprise is just around the corner. All right. So it might be during Pumi session, or it might be right after. You never know. Back to you, Danny. Yeah, Pumi, you can go ahead.
Yes, so I will share my screen. And this is the MYOB interface. And I'm not going through these tabs because Amna already gave and brief introductions about these tabs. So I directly jump to the bank feeds. So this is the interface of the bank transactions. When you do the bank feed allocation, you need to select the correct bank account first. And for the first example, I will take this parish rental invoice. So you can see this is in the withdrawal side. So this is basically an expense. So according to the description, you can see this is a rental. So we can allocate this to the rent account. In this data file, we already include the bill for this invoice number. So we can match the bill to this payment. So click on the bill and you can save. And for the second example, I will take this transaction. Its description has Facebook. So normally this company use Facebook for their advertising. So then we can allocate this transaction to the advertising and marketing expense. So go on here and type advertising and marketing. Then it's automatically matched with the account. So for an example, in deposit side, I will take this Chris Adams cleaning charges. So this company provides services for cleaning. So we can allocate this to the income account. So we already entered invoice for these transactions. So you can allocate this deposit to the invoice. So go on here and click on the correct invoice. And then you can save the transaction. So likewise, after we allocate all the transactions for the particular period that we are going to reconcile, and then after that, we can reconcile the accounts. Click on reconcile. And you need to select the statement date. And you need to put closing bank statement balance according to the bank statement. So I will put the bank statement balance. Before that, you need to ensure that you all tick all the bank transactions for that particular period. And then you can put the closing balance as per the bank statement, and then you can reconcile the bank account. So that's how we can allocate the bank feeds and do the bank reconciliations. So this is very user-friendly software. So we are inviting you to enroll to our course and get this wonderful experience.
Well, thank you, Pumi, for that very insightful and interesting, demonstration. I mean, of course, you are one of the experts there, so it's no surprise. So, Sanjay, what do you think? I think we have learned quite a lot. I mean, in this.
I've learned quite a lot, and the more I learn, the more I regret for not taking and getting it done when I was back in Sri Lanka. So it just keep on regretting. Amna started, I was all right. Yeah, I know it's all right. And then Tirana went, and then I wish I was still so deft with because he was like, yeah, tick 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 tock. No, and then Pumis was the cherry on the top, and then so yeah, I mean, life is full of regrets, but what can he do? So why rather be me?
I mean, but it's with those regrets that you can take it as a positive way. You can mentor, you can teach someone else. I mean, that's always the case. We all have some regrets.
It is rightfully because what I want to say here is, Daniel, when the opportunity is there, and when there is no such provider, in terms of especially to the catering to the Australian market, focused on accounting and taxation and the accounting software, why would you have to consider further? All right. And with all those cards on the table, if you're not picking the right card up, then you will have to consider regretting later. All right. So yeah.
There is one more thing I wanted to ask you, Sanjay. I mean, and I believe you would be able to answer that perfectly to me, because this is circulating around the payroll actually. So when it comes to the payroll, Sanjay, payroll management, or should I say, basically, does it come under the accountant scope, Sanjay? Because Sri Lanka, right? I mean, Sri Lanka, it is managed entirely by the HR department. So how's things there?
Okay. Yeah. So what happens is, though in Sri Lanka, payroll is something specific to the HR. Again, HR got payroll can ekak. But if you come to Australia, accountants have to handle payroll. All right. So if you're an accountant and if it's payroll and HR is not something that you like to deal with, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you need to welcome and open the doors because payroll is something that you will have to embrace and hug if you come down to Australia.
Like, I don't know, there's always going to be something you don't quite embrace. Yeah. Right, Sanjay? We have the.
Yeah, rightfully, yes. All right. Daniel, remember that I mentioned of a surprise?
Yeah.
All right. That surprise is rightfully now. All right. So can we, Daniel, if you can share the screen and take through our audience
Mhm.
as to how to get signed in and where the quiz would appear very
Yeah.
gradually, because there
No,
are
yeah. So you put your
thanks
thanks a lot for keeping an extra eye for me till the quiz came up. Yeah. We had no idea as well what time it was going to come up.
and the set of eyes that you have been missing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question of doubt. I mean, you always have eagle eyes, Sanjay. Everyone knows that.
All right. Anyway, let's share the screen and let's get it. Yeah, the speakers, not speakers. I'm sorry, where our audience can.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I mean, as a proactive approach, as I already mentioned earlier, if you are already logged in, then it's really easy. So I'm just going to refresh this for you. You guys could just refresh it.
Yeah, there you go. And maybe our audience would love if we can show where exactly the quiz is appearing.
Yes, of course. Just give me a moment, Sanjay. You know, we're facing a bit of a tech, some sort of a tech issue. Give me a minute. All right, so you can see just below the virtual workshop, you could see a new option has come here, which wasn't there before. It's called the knowledge round, and that is where your quiz is sitting, waiting for you to complete it. So there are some questions there, but I should say they are pretty much easy ones, most of which we have already discussed with you guys. And the best part is you only have 5 minutes exactly to complete it. And those who complete it in time, and mind you, get over 80% of the marking for it, you will be getting a certificate, which I should say is an achievement for you guys, because this gives you the motivation you need in terms, and this most importantly, this gives you know that you have got some knowledge by enrolling for this particular session.
And if
for the benefit
on
of
the
those,
page, yeah, and if you're already on the page, I would encourage everyone to start refreshing their pages if that doesn't appear,
yeah,
so that
yeah.
the page would get updated and you would have the quiz out there. But then if you can just scroll down and show
Yep, sure.
where it
So
is
basically, the
exactly.
refresh just here, you can just refresh it, and then just after the introduction, then you get the free live virtual workshop. Just below that, you get the knowledge round. You can just click on it. When you click on it, you can start the quiz. Yeah. I really hope all of you guys have, created your accounts up to now, because if you haven't, then you could always do so once again.
And the other thing is, if you get, I know all of you can easily get that 80%, but if you, I mean, there are no rules telling that you can't get 100%. And the more you get, there will be some amazing discounts which Brisca Education team will reach out to you with. So all that you have to do is just fill it in, get the questionnaire done, get your marks, and you up for the August intake. The registration fee is waived off, and that's exclusively for this workshop. All right. Many benefits. Get your registration fee waived off if you're coming for the August intake, and the more marks you get, the higher you get, even better discounts. So if you're not doing it, it's on you.
Of course, I totally agree with it, Sanjay. So, yeah. All right. So in this case, I hope, once again, I hope all of you guys have created your logins by now. Okay. And when it comes again to the payroll management where we were, Sanjay, so I mean, it was a very interesting subject, Sanjay. So,
Daniel, I can't seem to see you.
hello.
Either speak from the dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I completely understand what you say. I think there's a bit of a glitch with the video. Now you can see us, right? Believe?
All good, loud and clear.
Okay. Now, yeah. So again, we will be giving some sort of, we'll be giving around a few minutes more in terms of completing the quiz for you guys.
Yeah, so we'll just give around 5 minutes for our audience to go through and wrap up the quiz. And until then,
I think that's already over, yeah, but we'll be more compassionate. We'll just give them a couple more minutes. What do you think?
We should. And I was trying to kind of bring a bit of a context as well, because learning should never end. All right. Though you are in a different country, though you're settling, seeming to settle in Sri Lanka, Australia, wherever that you want to travel, learning should never end. And especially what I can tell is, being a Sri Lankan and being an accountant, especially over here, accountants in Sri Lanka have been holding the flag high. All right. Wherever you go, if you mention that you're a Sri Lankan and if you're an accountant, you get some sort of prestige and welcome, which you shouldn't be getting, which you won't be getting. All right. And that's because our fathers, our forefathers, or whoever has settled over here, all right. එතකොට අපිට තියෙන ඇවිල්ලා ඒක තව පොඩ්ඩක් ඉහළට කරන්න විතරයි. ඉතින් when the platform and the infrastructure is there in front of you, you should be going for it. And as much as you can, try to learn the accounting software, the accounting standards. All right. The more you learn, the better it is. All right. If our audience is done, can we move on? Yeah, I guess it's safe. Yeah, let's move on, Daniel.
The course is clear. I hope you don't have any glitches, or I hope everyone is.
Oh, no. Yeah, let's just give a few more minutes, because our organizing team says that there are still few participants who are still trying to get the quiz done.
I mean, it's just a few questions only. It's nothing. It's not like it's typical, 3-hour, 4-hour paper. It's just a matter of maximum of 9 to 10 questions. And it's not just, it's not bizarre questions. It's like really, really simple questions.
Yeah, ideally, yes. And I was just crunching some numbers just before the workshop, Daniel, and a few interesting things that came up was that got to know that there are 3 million chartered accountants in the world. All right. And out of that, 120,000 accountants are there in Australia and in New Zealand. So, and when you kind of compare it with the 2.5 million businesses that I told earlier, for the 25 million people, it's not as much, which means that there's huge room for accountants. Some people think that accountancy is a declining industry. No way. As long as the financial markets are strong, which means until the end of time, accountants let it. All right. I think the more you learn, the better it is.
100% Sarthaka. It's very, I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, Sanjay. Yeah, of course. And seeing a few, concerns, I just want to show you, just some MCQs from it.
Yeah, and then guys, we are getting some feedback from our organizing team saying that some of them are leaving the quizzes unfinished. So guys, ensure that you get the quiz finished? Maybe Daniel,
You
if you
mean,
can just share the screen again and
yeah, sure.
go through the quiz, because trust me, guys, though you join us or not, you will miss out on the ability to get a certificate. All right,
Yeah,
and this certificate that you get is free of charge. We are not going to charge you a rupee. We are not going to do anything as in. We just want you guys to go through the quiz and complete it, and you will get a certificate of attendance, which is going to be hugely valuable for you.
because Sanjay, the whole point of having these, webinars, Sanjay, is to give knowledge to them, right? And what's the point, and this particular course, and mind you, not everyone is going to get it. I hope 100%, at least 95% out of 100% of those who get about 80% would get the certificate. As much as possible, we'd be more than happy to give everyone if we could. But just so that, we need to know that you have got the essence of what we are imparting to you, the knowledge that we are imparting to you. That's the most important. And as Sanjay perfectly said, it's free of charge. It's completely free, and you will not get this typically anywhere else. What we are doing.
Yeah, and you won't get it. I mean, you can start the question, but if you don't finish it, you won't get it as well. So just, I would say,
It's not going to be more than 80%, of course. You at least, yeah, even if you don't know it, it's completely fine. I mean, we all been there, right, Sanjay? So you could just, these simple questions were once very hard to us as well. I mean, we all get there. So, yeah, so just answer the way you can and carefully, do answer and try your very best to get this certificate. Because at the end of the day, guys, trust me, you do have what it takes. It's just a matter of letting it out. So just to help you guys, I will just type my name, how it appears. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah, Sanjay? It can be seen.
It is visible. Yeah.
So I'll start with the name, how I want it to appear on the certificate. So
all right.
I'll just put my.
We can just put the name, and then we can move forward, Daniel.
Yeah. So probably my first and the last name, maybe.
All right, so that's how you have your names appeared, and then and if you are done with the quiz, that will be the best advice that I can give you right now. And then let's move on, Daniel. Let's go to the next step.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the time has run off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we weren't joking, by the way, when you said it was only 5 to 6 minutes.
No.
So. Yeah. Right. Coming to the payroll management, Sanjay, a very, I would say, vital topic. Just give me a minute. Just give me a moment. We are looking at the. Yeah, there. I think I might be getting blind or something, Sanjay, because I can't see I seem to not see the button. It's fine. So Sanjay, when it comes to the payroll, I mean, we just, to slim things up a bit. You did say some really important, attributes when it comes to the payroll. You did shed some light. But if you're looking, at the practical essence of things now, Sanjay, I would really, I believe our audience more likely would really, or perhaps should I say, are dying to see how these things are working practically. So Amna, if you could give a demonstration of how it works in Xero and QuickBooks.
Yes, Daniel, sure. Let me quickly share my screen. Right. So back again, we'll land back to the Xero page. And we have gone through all the tabs. Right. So let me now just land on to the payroll tab. And here there I go. You see a lot of functions to work with, and you might see quite a few new terms. That is in relation to the Australian context. But yeah, payroll when it comes to the AUS context is really easy as it is integrated to the accounting software itself. And there we have quite a few functions to work on. But we're not going to go through all the functions. Let me just show you an overview of how it looks like. We have jumped onto the employees tab, and here's how it looks like. Best part is I could scroll through the employees current and past, and I could look in for more information related to this. I could click on them, get more information. Right, so that's about payroll for Xero. As you can see, it's just the beauty of the system, so easy to work on. That's that.
Thank you, Amna. Seeing it, having it theoretically in your mindset is one thing, but seeing a physical, or should I say practical demonstration of the same is yet another. What do you think, Sanjay? It's really...
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And then, yeah, it's pretty interesting to know how it works.
And speaking, of the insights on the transactional, level of accounting, we have one of the highly prominent chartered accountants with us today, Olu Jayasuriya. So, Olu, what is this all about? What is it? What is all that we do? What is the outcome of all that we do?
Thanks, Daniel. Like its outcome, like I think we have a lot of accountants here today join with us. So as accountants, we know outcome of all our functions is the reporting, because we as a team trying to show the performance of the business through the reports. So report is the main outcome, Daniel. Whatever the task Amna mentioned, Tilina and Pumi. So as a team, we get the reports of the business. It shows the business financial performance, Daniel. So in Sri Lanka, we are struggling to generate reports. We spend a lot of time in getting reports. But the beauty of this system, like we can get a lot of reports in our fingertips. I think one of your coaches can help, like how to get the reports in these systems, Daniel.
Yeah, of course. Tina, would you do the honors?
Yeah, sure. So Daniel, I'm going to share the screen. So yeah. So as Olu requested about like the reports and how it's going to be generated. So I'm going to start from QuickBooks. So just go to Reports tab. And here you've got like a customized report where you can tailor-made, and there are standards and management reports differently. So I'm just going to browse it down a little bit. So there are different reports. So I'm going to just like take one of the reports.
If you can show the management reports, still in like
Yeah.
it gives you like with the preview. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So it's coming with a lot of functionalities. You can email, print, or save as the PDF. It gives you the summary. I think for the moment you have set up only the P&L and the balance sheet, but still like we can save whatever the customized format, Daniel, here with charts, graph, and
Right.
everything. It's only one time as accountants we need to put the effort, but every time you can repeat the same format. If you can,
Yeah,
like
no.
a P&L comparison,
Yeah.
Helena.
So just like click it here. So if you want to compare with your previous financial year, so you just like have to, this is the current financial year. So I'm going to select this previous financial year, and it's going to be compared. So just run the report. So it's just like this is the current year and this is the previous year. So you got the differences and you got
Yeah.
the variation. You can just like figure it out the variations, differences, so that it's all there. So you should be proud enough, and you should always fortunate enough to see everything in a one step, like one go. So you've got everything there.
Yeah,
So-
not only that, Daniel, like if you have the budget figures feed to the system, you can run the reports like budget versus actual and the variances.
Yeah, and also I'll just like walk you through how it's done in Xero. So just like go to accounting and reports. And there are also like there are different sets of reports as I mentioned in QuickBooks. So Xero also have like it has many number of features and like customized reports and other element reports as well. So that as you could see, like here the budget summary and budget overview. So the executive summary, this is a snapshot of your financial performance. So other than that, the basic reports and your fixed asset reconciliations. I don't think that these are available in Sri Lankan software. So that this is a very unique
Yeah.
thing. So other than that, payroll, so reconciliations, taxes, and transaction management, every set of detail they are available for you to just click and you go with the report. So
Yeah,
everything is
you mentioned an important point, Tirina, because this fixed asset register, maintenance of the fixed asset register in Sri Lanka, it's a sort of a headache, right, for us. But in Australia, also like we can maintain that in the accounting software itself. When you buy the asset, you can prepare the asset register.
yeah. And also we've been keep on working on preparing financial this fixed asset reconciliations for the accounts, and it's like
Yes,
you keep on wasting unnecessary time.
Yes,
So it's just
exactly.
a click here and you can run the reconciliation
and
report.
that can be used for both the tax and the accounting, both the purposes. True.
So that's that, Daniel. So got the answer, right?
Yeah, of course, I did get the answer.
Thanks, Tirina.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so yeah, that's just, I mean, these are just all of what they're saying, these are just samples, what they're saying. It's just a fraction of what's to come, from where all these fractions came from. So yeah, again, as I said, you all are always invited, to join us, to join enroll in terms of the courses, because you don't want to miss out on the immense chunk of knowledge that is out there waiting for you. So right now, we'd love to throw the platform down in addressing any concerns. So should you have any clarifications, any doubts, now's the time to clear it off. And please do not keep it to yourselves, because keep it to yourselves, it's never going to be answered. So please do voice out any concern, any questions or any concerns that you may have right now, please. And by the way, we
So,
might.
ladies and gentlemen, any questions that you have, now would be the best time to put them
Most
forward.
important thing,
Anything regarding risk education, what you want to clarify, anything and everything.
exactly. And we might not be able to answer all the questions because, as I say, we're running out of time, but we'll be answering as many as we can. We'll be choosing, we'll be handpicking questions. Most of the questions may be of a repetitive context. So we'll be picking the questions which are deemed vital. Sanjay.
All right. So there are a couple of questions which says, let me kind of answer it live. It says, I joined late. When can I enroll? So the link for you to join is learn.brisca.edu.com. Go there, get you signed up, and then that's prompt you a joining link. So that's that. And then there's one more that I saw that it was.
So there is an individual who has said, when do we get started?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, in the sense, if you could shed some light on that, because we started a long time back, actually. And I believe the terminology, I mean, they are trying to emphasize on our August intake, I believe. So when it comes to the August intake, actually, we'll be enrolling towards the end of August. Actually.
All right. And there's one quite interesting question. All right. So let me just bring it up. Generally, how much AUD can an accountant get in Australia with the knowledge in accounting software? Quite interesting. This was a kind of a topic that came up quite recently as well. So starting, you can get with a solid experience in both your technical skills and with academic background, 90,000 AUD annually is something that you can start with. All right. So 90,000 AUD, and 1 AUD is equivalent to 220, 230 LKR. Do the math and see how much it is. All right. So that's one question that was there. And then there was another question that was interesting, which I saw. Let me just bring that up as well. Okay, so, okay, it kind of disappeared, but they were asking for a brief about Brisca. So Brisca has been in operation for the past 8 years in management consultancy and BPO, based out of Brisbane, helping businesses in Australia. So we have a variety of clients in franchising, retail, aged care, multiple industries. All right. So being in business for the past 8 years, and from the knowledge and the experience that we have garnered over the years, and with cumulative experience, with all the accountants that you see right here and the teams behind it, this is our way of kind of giving back to the Sri Lankan community and enlightening and making aware that, ladies and gentlemen, there is something better for you. Even though you don't really have to travel overseas, you can get your selves equipped. And one interesting thing as well, that we know that BPO is a huge industry, and BPOs, just like Brisca and many others, are screaming for talent. All right. So it's good that you have an academic degree, but we are gradually entering a phase that skills are given more preference than academic degrees. All right. So we are getting there. And the best way to do is to upskill yourself in whatever way. So get accustomed in the new accounting standards, in the new accounting software, because you never know. All right. You can be that one freelancer who's in Sri Lanka, who's being an accountant for an Australian firm. All right. So with all those, what I can tell all of you, ladies and gentlemen, is to upskill yourself as much as possible. And Daniel, I see that you're very serious about something that you can share with us.
Yes, of course. I would say, no, this is just a markings, this thing separately. But as you know, just to add on to it, Sanjay, yes, of course, in terms of today's, evolving technology, having knowledge, I believe, isn't just enough. You need an edge, right? You need something that sets you apart from the rest of the clan, and that is where risk education comes in, right, Sanjay?
It is rightfully, because as I told, degrees are great. All right. And then your professional qualifications are great. By no means are we discounting. It's good.
So in a nutshell,
as I told, employers are looking for skills, upskilled. All right. So these are the best ways that you can upskill. And I saw that there was kind of a couple of interesting questions as well. Hold on, let me just bring it up. All right, this is interesting. It says, how can we get an opportunity to work with an Australian firm after following your training program? Well, you could always include it in your resume or your CV saying, okay, follow this course. And then you obviously have that knowledge. It's like you go and get a job, but you don't necessarily put, okay, you did that. So
yeah,
the moment you put that you have the Australian accounting standards knowledge,
totally agree.
That's going to be your point for them to hire you, right?
And let's not forget, Sanjay, it is not merely, a course that we are pushing. It's not just a course we are pushing or anything. It is a career boost. We work with real applications around the world, and we actually enable individuals to gain the knowledge that they have in addition to the existing knowledge in terms of evolving into future accountants, Sanjay. Just not the traditional accountants that you get, but I would say accountancy in the modern realm, having that proper knowledge of accountancy integrated with technology, Sanjay.
It is. And in answering your question and another, I'm going to bring this up. So taking the August enrollment, I can easily get hired. All right,
Right.
guys.
So I will
the-
be, yeah, tell me, Sanjay.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of iterate on this question. Be taking the August enrollment, I can easily get hired. You won't easily get hired, and this is not the silver bullet, but we can assure you, you will be holding your head high and proud when you walk into an interview with this. All right. And at the end of the day, all that matters is your ability to market yourself, and Brisca education with this course is gonna assure you would have that weapon in your armory. Okay. So in answering your question, yes, you have better chances of employment, but at the end of the day, you yourself have to stand tall and tall and straight.
Exactly. So let's take a look at, just to get more insights, let's take a look at, speaking of the BPO industry, which is a very lucrative industry, Sanjay. I think it's vital that we share with them a video, which is going to enable them to get, a better understanding of what it is and the amount they can earn, in the Australian dollar itself, and the scope of working for in such a context. So yeah, let's play the video.
Businesses in developed countries are increasingly looking to outsource their non-core functions so that they'll be left with more time to focus on their core functions. And this trend has been improved post-pandemic era. Accounting and taxation are two aspects of any given business that consume a considerable amount of time. Most companies already in the BPM industry in Sri Lanka are catering to this demand in the global market. Due to factors such as the availability of qualified personnel and comparatively low wage cost, Sri Lanka has become an attractive destination for providing the required services to the overseas market. It is noteworthy that in the recent past, Australian businesses have developed an inclination to hand over their accounting and taxation functions to Sri Lankan BPMs. One area that has posed a severe problem in the BPM industry here is a lack of knowledge and experience in using software packages that are being extensively used in developed countries. To overcome this drawback, Brisca, as a responsible business, has come forward to share the knowledge and expertise it has gained over the years in using such accounting software. It is to our credit that we are a silver partner of the Xero software, the fastest growing accounting package in Australia. We are also a pro advisor of QuickBooks, the world's most extensive accounting software. Further, we are an accounting partner of MYOB, one of the largest accounting software companies in the pack. Come aboard Brisca Education. You will have mastered these invaluable software packages in 3 months, and any BPM company would be delighted to hire you.
Well, that's about it. I hope you have got a context, of some insight in terms of, how the BPO industry works. And, if that doesn't come, it's compelling me. And if that doesn't compel you, to join us, then I don't know what will. But you can see the opportunity. It's a golden key. We are literally handing you the golden key to join us at Brisca Education, enhance the probability of getting a job on Australian market, enhancing your career, and improving the quality of your life. Thanks once again. Back to you, Sanjay. What do you say?
Yes, as you rightfully put, it's that good opportunity. And just one more thing, because I saw 5-6 questions on the age barrier, whether they would be able to get a job, whether they're in auditing. It actually it's true, because 3 weeks back I had a chat with an accountant from New Zealand. All right, and for 25 years he was into sales in Xero. All right, and then right after he retired, kind of went into early retirement, and what he did was he bought an accounting firm, and now he's running his own accounting firm. He's over 50 years of age. All right, so if a person who was in sales, who was doing it, can do that, age is not a barrier for you to so ඒක බාධාවක් කරගන්න එපා. Okay, age is just a number. All right, so ඒක හේතුවක් නෙමෙයි මේක නොකර ඉන්න, but at the same time, just like what Daniel told, this is your chance. If you miss this, you're going to miss out on a lot. So ensure that you jump on board, and Brisca Education will give you whatever it is for you to get ready and be competent in your journey to Australia.
It's not good to have an empty mind. It's always good to fill your mind with some sort of knowledge, not just some sort of knowledge, the quality and extremely noteworthy knowledge that I should say, because and this particular course gives you such knowledge that's imparted to you, Sanjay. And as you said, you understand, you understand the vitality of it, because you went to Australia, you did tell us about your challenges that you had to face without, having, prior to having not, you had some knowledge, but not the whole thing, right, Sanjay? So, yeah.
Yeah, right for this. And then, yeah, so for everyone listening, don't miss this opportunity. Join with us at Brisca Education, and we can shape your future together. And if there are no more questions, Daniel, we can wind up.
Yeah, sure. I believe there are no more questions. Yeah, just check. Okay, so there is a question. No, that is.
No, it's kind of repetitive. It's the same old questions which I get repeated. So, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from wherever you are.
You have to wrap up, Sanjay. I think it must be like around at least 1 a.m. in the morning for you, right? 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it's good morning over here. It's 2 a.m. over here. But thank you so much for tuning in today, and all of us excited, and we'll help you in ways and means, whatever possible, with Brisca Education. And we hope to see you soon, and we'll help you to take the next big step in your career. Good night, and thank you so much.
See you guys. See you, everyone. Have a fabulous night, and we'll see you at the next session.